Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving deep today into just this one singular narrative.
And it's a really harrowing
Oh,
story.
absolutely. It's a tale of survival, of, some really tough moral choices. And, well, the transformation of this one older woman from a grieving widow into a ruthless tactician.
Yeah, it really is a compelling look at how a personal mission can just morph into something so radical.
So where do we start?
It starts with something really simple, almost quiet. We meet Barb. She's an elderly woman, and her only goal is to fulfill her husband's last wish.
Right, to bury his ashes.
Exactly, to bury his ashes at Lake Hilda, this place that was, really special to them, a place of shared memory.
But the landscape itself, the winter, it becomes a character right
It's
away.
the first antagonist, for sure. A massive snowstorm hits. She gets completely lost.
And she's just looking for directions, right? She follows this voice she hears.
And that leads her straight to this isolated house in the middle of nowhere. And this is where the entire story just pivots.
It goes from this quiet, personal pilgrimage.
To a full-blown confrontation with, well, with pure evil.
So she gets to the house and she immediately sees these signs of distress.
Yeah, right away. There's a car, and inside she sees a gun.
Yeah.
And a lot of blood.
Very noticeable amounts of blood.
Yeah. So Barb, she's playing it cool. She just asks the man she meets, David, for directions.
And his story is flimsy
Yeah.
at best.
Totally thin.
Yeah.
He says it's from an animal he was hunting.
And you have to wonder if she buys it at all. The source material suggests she takes the directions and leaves, but that tension is there from the start.
The seeds of suspicion are definitely planted, and it just sets the stage for this accidental confrontation that nobody was expecting.
So she actually continues on to Lake Hilda. She's trying to get back to her original mission.
She gets there, she's ready to spread the ashes, to have this moment of quiet reflection, and
It's like violently interrupted.
a gunshot. It just rings out across the lake. And she sees him, David, shooting at a little girl. Leah, yeah, who's desperately trying to run away. And right there, any vague suspicion she had is just confirmed in the most horrific way.
That's the real turning point, isn't it? The sound of violence destroying this really sacred moment for her.
And she doesn't drive away. That's the key.
She drives back.
Back to the cabin. Her phone has no signal. She's totally on her own, but she knows she has to do something.
She gets there, all the doors are locked, but she sees Leah through a basement window.
And this is where she stops being a witness.
Yeah.
She becomes a participant.
She overhears the couple, right? David and his wife, Clara.
Yeah, and she hears it all. She confirms that Clara ordered David to kidnap the girl. So Barb makes her first real move, her first decisive action.
The message on the window.
She writes it right there on the frozen glass for Leah to see. I won't leave you.
That's not just a promise, is it? It's a declaration of war.
And it's one that Clara recognizes immediately.
The wife comes out. She sees Barb's gloves left behind. She sees the writing.
And she knows. Instantly, Barb is a critical threat. David kind of tries to downplay it, but Clara doesn't hesitate for a second
She grabs her gun.
and says they have to eliminate this threat. And just like that, Barb has gone from a grieving widow to enemy number one.
What happens next is it's a masterclass in using your environment as a weapon.
Totally. Barb is older, she's probably physically outmatched, but she knows this world. She knows survival.
So when they track her to the fishing deck, she's ready for them.
She's already executed her first move.
Yeah.
The ice trap. It's so clever.
And brutal. I mean, she hollowed out the ice right by the door.
A trick you'd only know if you've lived in that kind of cold. Davy goes to check the door, and boom, straight through the ice into that freezing water.
So while Clara is totally preoccupied trying to save him,
Barb doesn't miss a beat. She breaks into the house.
and her strategy changes, doesn't it? It's not about a direct fight anymore.
No, this is what you called psychological warfare by climate. She's not trying to escape. Her goal is to make them freeze to death.
So she puts out the fire.
Opens every single door and window to let that brutal cold in. She even wets all the blankets.
She's turning the house, their only shelter, into an enemy.
Exactly. Using winter as her accomplice.
But it comes at a price. Clara spots her.
And manages to shoot her, grazing her hand. Now Barb is injured, stranded, and her truck engine is frozen.
Her reaction to being shot is incredible, though.
Oh, it's so resourceful. Pure instinct. She doesn't panic. She just grabs a handful of ice and presses it right into the wound.
And numb it.
To numb it, ease the pain, stop the shock. At the same time, she finds David's gun that he dropped with one bullet left in it. Every single action is just laser focused on survival.
So as the couple is dealing with the fallout of Barb's attack, David is soaked in hypothermic.
We finally learn the real reason for all this, the monstrous motivation behind the kidnapping.
And it is horrifying.
It's the core of the whole story's darkness. Clara isn't just some random kidnapper. She's a surgeon.
A surgeon who needs a liver transplant for herself.
She kidnapped Leah to harvest the girl's organ. The remote location wasn't just for privacy.
It was because it was sterile, germ-free.
She didn't need a big surgical setup. She could do it right there. The level of cold, calculated evil is just off the charts.
Yeah, and their plan for after.
Just as horrifying. Dump Leah's body in the river. No evidence.
So Barb, with the one bullet she found, confronts David.
And this is his breaking point. He just pleads for his life, trying to blame his wife, saying Leah was suicidal and didn't want to live.
Just trying to pass off the moral blame.
Absolutely. But Barb gives him a test, an out.
She tells him to go to the police. And he has to do it before he gets medical help for himself.
A true test of his conscience. And he agrees. He gives Barb the ring she dropped, and even better, he gives her extra bullets for the gun. It feels like he's finally broken from Clara's control.
It seems like a small victory.
A crack in the armor. But then, as he's driving away, Clara stops his car on the road.
And it's this incredibly tense, emotional scene.
David just breaks down. He tells her he can't do it, he can't support her crime. He asks how any surgeon could hide where that liver came from.
And as he's saying this, Clara starts to cry,
Yeah.
and blood starts dripping from her nose.
A physical sign that her own time is running out, fueling her desperation.
Meanwhile, we go back to Barb. She's loading those extra bullets.
And she has this moment. She sees a picture of herself and her husband back when she was pregnant, and she remembers their son who passed away.
So this truck is everything. It's her last connection to her husband, to her past.
And she makes a shocking choice, a calculated one.
She sets it on fire.
Uses clothes from the fuel tank to create a signal fire. She sacrifices this last piece of her old life, her grief, for the mission of saving Leah.
And it works. The smoke brings help.
2 men show up, the same guy she'd spoken to on the radio earlier.
She tells him a story, right? Twists the truth.
A survivalist tale. She says the injured man, David, went for help, but his wife, Clara, is the real threat. She's armed.
And here comes this just devastating twist.
Yeah. The men, trying to de-escalate, they ask Barb for her gun. She gives it to them.
And as they approach Clara's car...
They're shot and killed.
Yeah.
By a third person, a man who came from the other side.
So it was a trap, a bigger conspiracy.
Exactly. And now Clara's full attention is back on Barb.
Barb ducks behind the dashboard, and in another sign of her preparedness, she pulls a spare gun from the glove box.
And she manages to shoot Clara in the leg just to slow her down, to stop her from escaping.
Barb makes a run for a shed, but on the way she sees David's car just dead on the road. His attempt to do the right thing failed completely.
Before she can even really process that, Clara shoots the shed. The whole thing collapses on Barb, knocks her out cold.
When she wakes up, she's back in the basement with Leah.
And the little girl is, understandably, terrified. So Barb does something incredible. She gives her courage.
She tells her story.
Yeah, a story about her great-grandfather who survived a blizzard just by walking, by never, ever stopping.
And the lesson she gives Leah is for both of them, isn't it?
It's the core of the whole story. We must at least fight for ourselves.
But the moment doesn't last. Clara, even with her leg bleeding, she locks them in again.
Then she drags them both out to the lake, to this grotesque operating setup she's created. She makes Barb drag the heavy luggage.
Inside the box, the liver transplant kit, the final awful truth.
Clara is all business. She orders Barb to tape Leah's mouth, her hands, her legs, prepare her for the procedure.
And Barb does it. It looks like she's given up.
But she's just setting the final stage.
Clara shoots Barb to get her out of the way and starts marking Leah's body for the surgery.
But Barb's not done. She gets up. One last time.
And she attacks Clara, a final, desperate struggle.
In the fight, Clara's gun hits a lamp and the whole tent, the whole operating theater just goes up in flames.
Leah manages to escape the fire. She falls out onto the snow, and in the chaos, she finds the gun.
And she finds that courage Barb gave her. She shoots Clara.
Thinking Barb is dead, Leah does something, just born of trauma and desperation.
A horrific choice. She ties Barb's body to Clara's leg and pushes them both into the lake, into the hole in the ice, to make sure the monster is gone for good.
But there's one last twist.
The final, profound, heartbreaking twist. Barb wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Not yet.
as she's sinking into that freezing water tied to the woman she fought.
She opens the box, the one thing she's protected this whole time, her husband's ashes.
So she fulfills her mission after all. In the last moments of her life in that lake, her personal journey comes full circle.
It's tragic, but it's also poetic. An act of grief becomes an act of justice. And Leah survives alone, but with Barb's lesson to carry.
It's just an incredible story about commitment. You see David, who just fractures under moral pressure. You see Claire's just absolute self-serving ruthlessness.
But mostly you see Barb,
Yeah.
a testament to pure grit. How a simple mission of remembrance got completely overshadowed by the moral need to protect an innocent life.
And she actively chose to intervene. She weaponized everything she knew about that desolate place against her enemies. So I think the question this deep dive really leaves you with is, when you are faced with a threat that is so clear, so present, what is the real cost of just being neutral, of doing nothing?
And how far do you have to go?
Exactly. How fully must you commit to make sure that justice actually has a chance to win?